Boys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be doing a solo forge guide. I'm going to teach you guys how to forge extremely quickly, extremely safely, and to do it with almost no cost at all. Before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you're following me over on Twitch because I stream almost every day. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. So for this video, we're basically going to go over all the things you're going to need to forge solo and for an extremely cheap cost. In the video, I'm going to be upgrading a blue shield. Again, I only upgraded a single blue shield. You have plenty of time to upgrade a helmet as well, but today we're just going to go over the blue shield and how I did it. So basically, this is the kit that I'm going to be rocking for the solo forge. Again, as you see, I literally only have ammo and stims here. I have nothing else besides ammo and stims, and as you can see, for my armor, I have a blue shield right here, and I have a purple bag, and I have a purple helmet. Again, if you want to forge that helmet as well, make this purple helmet into a blue, and you don't need a purple bag. All you really need is a blue bag. I just literally only have purple bags, so that's why I'm rocking this. I also have a brute on deck that's pretty decked out. I have a suppressor on it. I have a flashlight, which is definitely necessary. But basically, our goal for this raid is to either get 12 spine briar, because again, they removed it where you can split the spine briar. So usually you've got 4 and you split it 2 and 2 and put that all on one set of armor. But now, since you can't do that, you can't split it, you're gonna have to get a full stack and a little stack, which is like 10 and 12 or 10 and 14. And that's one way to get 2 types of health perks on your armor. But my goal for this raid was to get 2 things. I needed to get spine briar for the perks, and I needed savage marauder flesh or bone plates. Those are the 3 things I really look for when I'm down there. And basically, your goal is to get as many of those as possible. You realistically only need 2 to 3 of each, and your goal is to basically get as many of those as possible, because again, if you're trying to upgrade 2 sets of armor, you're gonna need much more than what I'm getting now. So now that we're on the map, we have to think of everything that we need. So basically, we spawn right next to Osiris offices, and this is a good spawn because we have to get, first things first, you have to think of what you need when you're on the surface of Theros Island, and what we're gonna need basically is that Theros iron. So to get Theros iron, I go to a couple different places. Korlev Core Outpost is really good for this, and the quarry is really good for this. There's some areas underground which I'll show you also, which are also really good. Since we're only upgrading 1 shield, we're only gonna need 9 Theros iron, and that's extremely easy and viable to get. So basically, as we go through the map, you have some chances of finding some in Cave of Stars. You can find some nodes in there. Usually I just sprint right past Cave of Stars, go towards that dock area, hook left, and go towards quarry. I'm not going to be showing the full route of how to get there because I have that in my previous forge guide, but this is more of a how to collect the resources that you truly need to forge carefully and safely. But basically, when you're coming from docks, I do want to show you this part. When you're coming from docks, go under that fence. You're going to go across this land bridge right here, and you're going to jump out the back, and this is where you're going to get a lot of your Theros iron right away. There's a ton of nodes back here. It's usually just Titan, and it's usually just Theros. So again, you'll probably get 9 to 18 back here all in one shot. And once you get that, you can basically start heading down, and this is when you have to understand and think about what you actually need. Right here, I was thinking, I saw some marauders. Again, we need those bone plates. We need that heavy marauder flesh. Again, this isn't a heavy marauder, but I was looking for bone plates. So basically, kill the marauders on the way down, and right here, we're going towards the atrium. The atrium is going to be good for 2 different things. We're going to find some spine briar here, and we're going to find a lot of Theros iron nodes. So again, we don't need more Theros iron, so we're done with that. If we find spine briar here, that's good. But again, I usually just sprint past this place because it is chocked full of striders that I just literally want no smoke with. Right here, I'm killing some of them, but after I just full sprint, I want to get the hell out of here. Now we're running through Core Outpost, and if we stop right here, and on the right over here, there's some nodes you can mine. So again, if you don't have enough, there's still a lot more areas to mine. So again, there's plenty of areas to get this Theros iron. You don't need to bring any in. You can get it all in one shot. Now we're going into Storm Pillar. Storm Pillar is actually very good for spine briar. You can find it along the inner ring. As you see here, there's some right here. But basically, if you go in the inner ring, which is this area right here, if you go in this inner ring, there's going to be some spine briar kind of along the edges. I only see 1 here, but again, they could be spawning all around us right here. And there's a lot more spots down beneath us and in that atrium that we just left. So if you guys want to know the way that I go down to the forge, there's the white set right here. Some Timmy got rolled, but I go down this big rock slant right here. I just feel like it's a great place to go because in this little room, as you see, there's a lot of these things that I like to call kind of buttholes. I'll be honest with you. There's a savage marauder, which we're going to need for his flesh. And there's some buttholes along this wall. As you can see, there's one there. There's a couple to my right hand side over here. And those also have a chance of spawning some really good items. I literally found a meteor core in there yesterday. So there's literally a ton of different things you can find. Basically, in this room, there's going to be spine briar as well. As you see, we're collecting one right here. And again, you can get spine briar. You can find stuff in these plugs. As you see, there's another Theros iron right there. In all of those rooms in the atrium, core left, core outpost, and the quarry in here. You're going to have plenty of Spinebriar, and you're going to have all your Theros Iron. So again, that's 2 things already off the list that we don't need. And now what we have to think about is what we need next. We still need that Savage Marauder Flesh. Again, if you don't find it, probably only going to have 1 perk unless you get more bone plates. But my goal for this raid, basically, I got the Spinebriar, which is checked. I got the Theros Iron, which is checked. Now I need that Savage Marauder Flesh, and I need the Tetramorphic Crystals. So now we're just going to go down into this hole with like a purple illumination light, and we're basically going to go into a room with just these Tetramorphic Crystals. If you don't know, they make a crap ton of noise when you mine them, so please be careful because people can be everywhere. And as you see, I do run into a friendly guy here. Again, you might meet some friendly people along the way. You might meet some mean people along the way. Basically, since we're only doing 1 shield, we only need 3 of these. If we're doing 2, we need 6, which isn't that bad. They can either spawn 1 to 2. I've never seen 3. It might be possible. Don't know. But basically, once you mine it enough, you'll get that Tetramorphic Crystal. And since we're only doing 1 shield, we only need 3. So now we should have about everything, because this guy was being friendly to me right here. This guy was extremely nice. We met, he was forging, I was forging, and he was kind enough to drop me 1 more Savage Marauder Flesh, as you can see. So all I needed was 2 Savage Marauder Flesh and 2 Spinebriar, and now I can really make my forged shield. Again, if I was going to make that helmet as well, I would need 2 more of each. So again, it's a little harder when you're doing that, but again, just for this 1 shield, I was perfect. I had all my Tetra, had all my Theros Iron, had all the Savage Marauder Flesh, had all the Spinebriar, and again, I came in with none of these supplies. And that's what you have to understand. You don't need to get supplies before. You don't need a farm before. You can just go down there, get your stuff in 1 raid, and still play pretty safe. But now we're actually at the forge, and I just want to show you guys basically what you need to do. As soon as you get down there, you have all your supplies. As you can see here, we're gonna make our ingots first, and to make the ingots, you have to understand that you really only need these 2 things right here. Okay, you're only gonna concentrate on these 2 things. You need 9 Theros Iron and 3 of these. You don't need 4, you need 3. So 9 and 3. As you see here, we're gonna place them into the forge, and right there, we're gonna put the Theros Iron. You're gonna put the Tetramorphic Crystals, put that in, let that go, let it do its thing. It's a pretty quick process for the ingots especially. And as you can see right above my face cam right here, you can see the ingot right here. This is 3 ingots right here, and we have 1 left over because again, we put 4 in there. To actually do the next step of the process, you have to take everything out of the forge. You can't just drag the ingots up here. You can't just grab the ingots from down here, drag them up here. You have to actually take them out of your inventory. You have to actually put them in your inventory and then back in. Take this out, take it out. Basically, once you just take it out, now we're gonna make the actual armor. So we're gonna put our 3 ingots in there. We're gonna put our blue kit in there. We're gonna put the 2 Savage Marauder Flesh, and we're gonna put the 2 Spinebriar. So as you see, it's lit up purple. That means that we're good to go. Everything's filled in accordingly. We don't need anything extra. And basically, all of this is gonna make us a really good purple shield. So once we're good with that, we press this circle button and we let it forge. And once it's actually done forging, this is the shield that I got. I got a really, really good roll on this. I got 20% faster stim and medkit use, which is really good. And I got a plus 13 bonus to stim and medkit healing, which I believe is the max. I don't know if there's 15. I don't believe there's 15, but I think 13 is the max. And this piece of gear is honestly one of my best purple shields that I actually own. But again, this is the shield that I got. And as you saw, this footage that I'm actually looking off of, if you look down here, we're at 16 minutes. So it took me getting into the raid, getting all of the supplies that I actually need for the raid, and actually putting it in the forge, getting it forged. It only took about 16 minutes. And as you see for the rest of the video, it's 5 minutes left. So again, if we just skip past it, we'll see that I evac in about 5 minutes. And that is literally a 21-minute game of me getting some of the best armor in the game. And I literally brought in no supplies. Again, if you're going to bring in that helmet as well, you're going to need more stuff. But sometimes I do 1 at a time. Sometimes I do 2 at a time. Just be confident. If it's early enough, there won't be other people on the map really. It was just me and that guy this time. But again, forging solo is extremely cheap. It's usually fairly safe. Bring a flashlight, check your corners, and hopefully this video helped you guys out to forge more carefully, forge more confidently in solos especially. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next one.